What's going on, Paw fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about players to watch in 2024. It's another big year for certain players who are on the brink of breaking into the side or on the brink of losing their spot on the list at the end of the season. So I thought I'd pinpoint a few players that are obviously in those categories, and obviously we've done it every single year, players to watch. So today we're going to be talking about Jase Burgoyne and the position he's in to attack 2024. Firstly, before I get into it all, thank you very much for all the support and love for the Warren Treadray interview on Pairs on a Pod. It's been greatly appreciated. If you haven't heard or watched the video as yet, definitely go check that out. It's a previous video that came out a couple of days ago. You can also listen to it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe as well. Plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way across this season. Leave a comment below on something you'd like to see from the channel this year, any collaborations, any specific topics you'd like to talk about, anything like that. I'm all open and all ears for the start of the season. It'd be great to have everyone on board and build the community that's already been building for quite some time now. So thank you very much. And let's get straight into it. Let's talk about players to watch, and we'll start with Jase Burgoyne.
One more for Burgoyne. Is he close enough? From long range, the open goal square. And Jase Burgoyne salutes.
Well, Jase has been someone that's come onto the scene in the last couple of years. Obviously drafted in the 2021 draft. First season was in 2022, and sort of took everyone's eyes by storm, really. Like the first game against Fremantle was very composed, was very adaptive in his positioning, and his great skill work, and his football IQ was second to none. And obviously a raw talent that's still learning his craft. Was very late in the draft as well, as a father-son to Peter. So he's got a lot to live up to, no doubt about that. But he's definitely been keeping everyone's eyes on him. And he's looking to improve what was a pretty average 2023. Obviously his 2022 was fantastic, 8 games. Kicked that marvellous goal against Richmond and also against Collingwood. He kicked 2 goals there. And he's really been a player that's growing as a individual and also as a player with his, as I said, football IQ. He's played 13 games across the 2 seasons, 2 goals. And as I said, his 2023 wasn't great. Played 5 games. A couple of those were as the sub as well, and was subbed out of games too. So hasn't really hit the stride, second year Blues, as I said. But a change in scenery, a change in guard, and obviously his change in number for Jase is definitely going to bring him, I think, a lot of good fortune coming into his 3rd year. He's going to change to his number 7, which obviously was his father Peter's number, following in the footsteps. He's already got that long hair that Peter had throughout the glory years of 2004, and obviously being 20 years since the premiership in that year, Jase is going to be honoured to wear that number. So I think taking that honour on board and really growing himself into a player for 2024, I think we'll see a lot more positive things from Jase come this year. For me, one to watch in particular is where his positioning is. I know for a fact he's definitely been training on the wing. There's plenty of opportunity there now that Xavier Dersman has left, and also he's slotted in with that number 7 spot. So not having a number 7 on the field in the AFL side would definitely be something that would be uncomfortable for fans. It's obviously been a famous number throughout the years, and he's been honoured to wear it. Now, as I mentioned, it's obviously Peter's number. But we go all the way back to Russell Ebert. It's that famous number 7 for Port Adelaide that's got a lot of expectation to live up to. And following in your father's footsteps, playing on the wing, obviously he's played at halfback to start with. He's got that run, he's got that football IQ, as I mentioned. He's got the pace. He has been asked in this pre-season as well to gain that 5 kilos. That's probably going to keep him in better stead in contests and running capacity as well. It wouldn't go astray. He's 186 centimetres, weighed in on the Port Adelaide website 70 kilos. So if he gets that to 75, he can keep building on that into his 4th, 5th, 6th year. He's obviously signed a 2-year extension at the end of 2023 as well. So he's got time to build his craft and really cement his spot in the side. I was a bit surprised by the re-signing, because obviously we know what happened with Trent. Was never really given an opportunity and sort of pushed off the list a little bit. And now that Jase has got that opportunity, he's got a lot more prospect with him. And I think having that confidence from the coaching panel and the club definitely will give him a better opportunity this year. And there's a vacant spot there. We don't want him on the sub list every single week or in the emergency list or playing great football for the Magpies. We want him in the side. We want a Burgoyne on the AFL side, playing week to week, and hopefully playing in finals and building his confidence. The one other thing as well to mention is, his younger brother Rome is also in the mix to be drafted at the end of the year as a father-son selection. So playing alongside Rome would be fantastic. And Rome, whilst it's a fantastic name by the way, has probably a little bit more expectation on him and promise, upside as well. Touted to go high in the draft this year, and I'm not talking top 10. I'm thinking around that 20 to 30 range. The typical father-son picks that end up going there, and I think playing alongside him would be a good motivation as well. Means Peter's going to be a lot more involved. He's going to have a lot of connection there, and I think that'll help too, going a longer distance, as I mean like 2025, 2026, but focusing on 2024. You're in your third year now for Jase. It's time that players start to develop into either knowing they're going to be good AFL footballers, or they're going to be fringe players, or they're just not going to make it. So we've seen father-sons in the past definitely be that fringe player, not quite live up to the hype. I don't want to out Jackson Mead, but definitely hasn't made his spot available, but has signed on again. So there's plenty of opportunity. I think this year there's a lot of change, and there's obviously that top tier midfield group, but anything around the outside and finding a different craft. I think with flexibility that Jase has, half back, half forward, on the wing, it definitely promises to be a little bit more, how can I put it, exciting for him, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this is Jase Burgoyne. This is Burgoyne on the list. I'm looking forward to seeing what he produces in 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, Port fans, and someone else that is to watch this year. I'll definitely be putting out a couple more of these across the next few weeks in hype, ready for the pre-season that's coming up. Obviously, we've seen a lot of open trainings and a lot of positive news coming out of the club with training and different positioning and trialling, stuff like that. So when the family day happens and then the pre-season hype comes along as well, it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes up, ready for round 1, which is, I think, under 50 days away now. It's getting to that time of the year again. We're going to be there. Yay! I'm not ready for it, but looking forward to seeing what happens for Jase, the club, and for everything else to come your way. So make sure you subscribe and like the video as well, and we'll look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Anthony, and as always, go ThePear.